Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we're going to continue our lecture on sources of law. We're going to concentrate on unwritten law. We are going to go on the second part, which is case law. Okay, we have seen English law. Now we are looking into case law. But what is case law? It is a judicial decision, okay, or court decision, which is also a judgment law, which is referred by a later court. So let's say today I have case A. Right, similar facts and situation with previous case of Z. Right, so whatever decision made by case Z will be referred to by case A. Okay, so basically case law becomes a source of law according to this particular doctrine of binding judicial precedents. What was decided before with similar facts and the situation will bind the later cases. Yeah. Okay, and this type of precedent, we have two types. One is original, something very new, new made law. Today's decision on the original can be used by a later court should similar facts and situation arise. And another types of precedent is what we call declaratory, or previous cases or decision that may be taken as example in deciding if the same matter situation. So two types of precedent. Okay. Now, what is the process of judicial precedent? So, if you read, look at the slides. It says here, after arguments heard before a judge, the judge, in reaching his conclusion decision, will formulate and apply legal principles. Okay, legal principles here means the law. Okay, the judge will normally give reasons for reaching his decision, and these reasons lies the ratio decidendi. Ratio decidendi means the reason behind the decision, or what is the legal principle behind the decision. Okay, so ratio decidendi of an earlier case may bind and become a precedent in deciding future cases, something which is similar in as far as their facts is concerned. Okay, now if that precedent comes from a court superior in hierarchy, okay, compared to the current case, the precedent must be followed. If the precedent is ignored by lower court, the decision of that court is wrong and will overturn on appeal to a higher court. Okay, so however, only ratio decidendi which is binding. Okay, whatever remarks made by the judges in passing the decision is what we call obiter dicta or obiter dictum. Is not binding, but it will be a persuasive. Okay. Okay, there are two types of precedent, which is one binding precedent, which you follow previous cases, or the other one which is persuasive precedent. Basically, local superior courts borrow from other Commonwealth countries, something which is similar to the laws in Malaysia. For example, we follow Indian cases, Singaporean cases. Basically those those are following typical English law. Okay, now we are looking into the purpose why there is similar facts, similar situation. Why should there be consistent cases? Why should there be a consistent decision? Basically, to standardize the law. We want to make it uniformity, to prevent uncertainty, to prevent injustice. Okay, we don't want different punishment, even is for the same offense. And basically, most important thing is that it's consistent. So judges will make a similar decision for all types of cases, right? For the same types of cases. For the same type of cases. Yeah. Now, how do you apply? The doctrine in Malaysia? So basically, this doctrine has been accepted and applied. You can see in the case of Public Prosecutor and Datuk Tan Cheng Wee, reported in 1980, volume 2 MLJ at page 276. Okay, it is however necessary to reaffirm the doctrine of stare decisis, which the Federal Court accepts unreservedly, and which it expects High Court and other inferior court in the common law system such as our to follow similarly. So basically we have to follow because it's our principle. Now when we look into this particular doctrine of stare decisis, we have to look into three era, which is one pre-1985, and between 1985 to 1994, and from post 1994. Now if we look before 1985, there are three tiers: High Court of Malaya and Borneo, and then Federal Court, Judicial Committee of Privy Council. Okay, so basically there are three tiers, right? And then if we look into between 1985 to 1994, there's only Supreme Court and High Court of Malaya and Borneo. And post 1994, we have Federal Court as the highest ranking. We have Court of Appeal, and we have High Court of Malaya. Let me just push this here. High Court of Malaya, Sabah and Sarawak. Now, if we look through, let me just draw it here. Okay, let me just draw it here. Okay. Now, there's right? Can you see? Okay, we have these magistrates courts, we have these sessions courts, and we have this High Court, we have this Court of Appeal, and we have this Federal Court. Can you see? Right? Right? So, these two is what we call, this is post 1994, which is still current. So, these two is what we call lower courts or inferior courts, and these three is what we call higher courts or superior courts. So I don't want students to make mistakes. When I say subordinate courts, you bear in mind these are these two magistrates courts and sessions court. And when I say superior courts, I was talking about Court of Appeal, Federal Court, and High Court. Okay, so as far as High Court is concerned, we have two: High Court of Sabah and Sarawak and High Court of Malaya. So those in Sabah and Sarawak, they have their own jurisdiction, and we also have our own jurisdiction. Okay. Now,